Grade 10s, today we'll be looking at functions. It is chapter 6 in your book. What is a function? In simple words, it is a formula, something where we have an input value, we work it into the formula, and we get an output value. These input and output values are also referred to as variables. So a variable is anything that changes, that's not a fixed number. So we have dependent variables and independent variables. So when is a variable dependent? It means that if another variable will change, this one would also change. So let's say we have y equals 3x plus 2. The y is dependent on the value of x, because if the value of x changes, the y value would also change. The x value, however, is just a value and it does not depend on anything, so thus it is called the independent variable. So just to take it all together, we have a rule or a function, or as we know it, a formula, and then we have an input or an independent variable, but also this is also known as the domain. Then we get, when we work it out into the function, we get an output, our dependent variable, or the range. Now let's put this theory into practice. Our first example, a chocolate costs 2 rand at a shop. The total cost varies according to the number of chocolates that we buy. Therefore, there is a relationship between the number of chocolates and the total cost. We can represent this relationship in different ways. So first, we can obviously easily put it in a table. If I buy 1 chocolate, it costs 2 rand. If I buy 2, it's 4 rand, 3, 6 rand, 5, 10 rand. And we can go on. If we put it into words, it would look like this. Total cost of chocolates is equal to the number of chocolates multiplied by 2 rand, because it's 2 rand for each chocolate, which is the price of each chocolate. And number 3, a set of ordered pairs. Now this means the chocolate is our x value, the y is the cost. So 1 chocolate, 2 rand, 2 chocolates, 4 rand, 3 chocolates, 6 rand. And now by that, you can already see where we are heading. This can be put into a graph. Here you can see when we do it on the graph, it's our x value, our y value, our x value, our y value, our x value, our y value. Okay, the next thing we can do is we can also write it as a function. This means the cost is equal to the number of chocolates times the price. And when we write that into a formula, please have a look here. Fx equals 2x. Now, if we go back to the graph, we see that it is only a dotted line. Do you see we marked our dots, each chocolate, and then we have a dotted line. But all these dots go up to a straight line. So we call this a linear relationship. So in general, the equation that we use for a general relationship is fx or y equals ax. Now let's move on to why do we use a dotted line. So we use a dotted line because it's not like you can go into the shop and buy half a chocolate. So all the values in between the 2 dots are not also true, because you can't buy half a chocolate, or you can't pay half a rand for 3/4 of the chocolate. So this we call a discrete relationship. When we have something that is true for everything in between, we will call it a continuous relationship. And then finally, we're looking at increasing and decreasing functions. So increasing function is when the one value increases, the other also increases. That means the more chocolates I buy, the more money I have to give. That is an increasing function. A decreasing function does the opposite. The less I do, the less I have to pay. So that is a decreasing function. Okay, grade 10s, now please go back to your textbook, look at the 2 examples, look at how they end up as different graphs, and please complete your exercises for homework.